I'm gonna get up there too, Mike. Now, this is kind of in regards to so much misinformation that's been coming out of the meeting that occurred in the courthouse. And I wanna make this clear, this is coming from me, this is not coming from the rest of the members of the commission. The people that instigated this meeting should be ashamed of themselves. Because not once have they come to a meeting out here and discuss with us the financial responsibilities and issues that are going on with the courthouse. Not once. There's a lot of misinformation that's coming out from in there. There's talk about an amendment that's going on to the ballot in November that's going to save the courthouse. I have a copy of that amendment here. Anybody feel free to look at it. That is not the case. There's nothing on that amendment that says save the courthouse. It simply is an amendment to prevent the state court from being moved from within the courthouse. I think it is absolutely saddening that they would have a meeting that was centered around something that we are financially and physically responsible for with this board of commissioners, and for the commissioners to be excluded from that meeting. This county is not a county of a small clique of people. It's a county of every taxpayer that's out there. Everybody's got the same voice. And some people need to learn to treat it like that. If anybody out there has got any questions about what's going on, what we do over here financially, we meet second Monday, just like it's right here, second Monday of every month. If anybody wants to come, they can come and see what's going on, how we spend the county's money, how we try to preserve as much of it as we can, and the struggles that we go through and the people that we fight on a daily basis. This is not about politics. This is just a small rural county trying to get by on the crumbs that fall down from the state level. And it's despicable to me that anybody would form a group and tell just virtual lies about what's going on and spin it out into something that it's not. Nobody over here has ever, to my knowledge, it has never been spoken in this chamber that anybody wanted to tear down the courthouse. If y'all know something about that I don't, please inform me. But to my knowledge, I've never heard it in here. Don't know anything about it. So I just wanted to say that and put that out there to let everybody know that, you know, we're not trying to do anything secretive over here. We all got elected and we're trying to do jobs, and we're trying to do those jobs as best we can. And at any point in time, if you have questions about that, or anybody you know has questions about that, just ask them to show up over here for the meeting, and then feel free to address us and ask us. Thank you.
Very well said, Commissioner. I heard about the meeting, you know, last second, I think it was, and Colonel, maybe you can answer this question. I mean, who is it that set the meetings after the 4:30 mark when the courthouse is closed? Who can, I guess what I'm asking you, I think the question's been brought to me as to, whenever someone get ready to have a meeting, when the meeting is, the courthouse closed at 4:30, I'm thinking that they have to ask through the commission office here. But what I understand, they just having the meetings if they want to. And I called the sheriff, then I called you, then I talked about it, I think. Talk to the commission, I don't think I got a chance to talk to Don about it. But this is where we are. Where are we standing here now as a commission? When somebody else get ready to have a meeting. Now, it's just like I told each one of the commissioners. Now, in an organization, if any organization can have a meeting when after it's closing, and to allow that to go on, I need to take the key and lock the door for everybody else. Because I, as a county commissioner, do not agree with the fact that just one group can have something and another group cannot. Doesn't matter to me what group it is, where they come from, or who they are, what color they are, whatever. But if this group is to have it, the next group is to have it. You tell me the responsibility lies on who?
The statute, again, 11.3-11 specifically states the county commission shall have authority to direct, control, and maintain the property of the county as it may deem expedient according to law. And then it goes further to state that we are the ones that, it's the commission's discretion and control over the sole power of the courts. 11.14.2 says the county commission shall have control over all property belonging to the county, and may close it as it desires. 11.14.9 says the county commission is charged of the courthouse. So, it's my opinion that the county commission is the one that determines the control of the courthouse. And previously, in several months ago, I'm looking at the front of the agenda, or the minutes, but in the minutes that the commission discussed the courthouse being used after hours for activities that were not related to court activities. And it was a unanimous decision that this should not be happening. Following the discussion, Commissioner Morrison made a motion for a policy prohibiting the use of the courthouse after hours for non-court activities. Commissioner Bennie provided the second, and the motion passed unanimously by the vote of the commissioners. So we previously passed that, that we have prohibited the use of the courthouse for non-judicially related activities. There are certain things that occur in the courthouse, court referral, other classes that are judicially related that do happen outside of the normal operating hours. Sometimes court goes beyond the normal operating hours, but it was clear, and that notice was then posted on the courthouse door on April 9th. The commission passed a resolution prohibiting use of the courthouse after business hours for non-court activities. So it's still my opinion that the commission's the one that controls the courthouse. At the previous meeting, when we had this discussion, there was two kind of issues. Number one was the general control of the courthouse, and it was related at the time to some, in addition to some activities that were occurring at the courthouse, but it was also at the same time we were dealing with having to close the courthouse on an emergency basis. And again, relatedly, we were empowered to close the courthouse when the county deemed that it was in the best interest of the people that would be attending. So I certainly think the commission has that authority to do so, and I stand by that position. The other issue is related to two political activities, and on that, there's a question there that I'm still wrestling with, but I see it as separate from the ability to prohibit just general activities after the courthouse without, advance permission or at least approval. But there is a question on the political activity issue about whether the law prohibits the use of courthouse property or any public property for partisan or political. And then the question becomes whether pursuing a referendum is, and I'm just not prepared to. There's an AG opinion from 2003 that seems to make a separation. So there was a Supreme Court case that came out in 2013 that may have set that opinion aside. But as a general rule, I say that we are able to control the courthouse.
I think where we stand now right now is what happens if they decide to violate that. Now, what I'm looking at is just a normal citizen or a different group decided they want to do this now. I wish the sheriff was in here because I called him and I asked him if he could just lock the doors. Now, in any other case, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, somebody would have been arrested. Now, I don't understand why, I don't know who the person that called is right there, but in my talking to the people, nobody wants to have them arrested. But to me, my personal opinion, she should have been arrested because there's a violation of the law. I don't care if you're a judge, I don't care if you're a lawyer, I don't care if you're a county commissioner. If you do it, it's wrong. And the commissioner sit back and allow this to happen, what we're gonna do the next time.